Africa, the second largest continent in the world, is splitting into two parts. This is physically real. It is 60 feet wide and 50 feet deep. It's believed a whole sixth ocean is forming into it, and it will divide the continent of Africa into two parts. In 2004, it all started in Somalia's tectonic plate, the east of the continent, and this part of Africa is going to split off. This crack will cause a new ocean to form. Stay tuned as we present how this rare incident is happening. The continent of Africa is the second largest and also the second most populous continent in the world. Its area is more than 30 million kilometers square, including islands. The continent covers 20% of world's land. That consists of 54 different countries. Africa, splitting into two parts, would mean landlocked countries such as Zambia and Uganda could have coastlines in a few years. In 2005, a 56-kilometer-long rift were naturally formed in the desert of Ethiopia, and this will affect Southeast African plate, which is Somali tectonic plate, and it is shifting away from the other African plates. This is the only place on Earth where you can study how continental rift becomes an oceanic rift, says Christopher, a PhD doctoral student at the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom, who has been using a satellite GPS to monitor volcanic activity in East Africa that is associated with the continent's breakup. It's estimated that Africa's new ocean will take 5 million to 10 million years to form. To make things easy for us to understand, how is this continent splitting into two? There is something called tectonic plates. As this crack associated with the eastern part of the continent, there we have Somali plate, which is the southeast of the continent, and it's where all this shifting is happening. A 56-kilometer or 35-mile long crack emerged in Ethiopia's desert in 2005. This will set off the creation of new sea, as per report in Economic Times. The research presents the creation of the rift was triggered by similar tectonic plates that are taking place at the bottom of the ocean. The economic report also added the crack was discovered at the border of three tectonic plates: African Nubian, African Somali, and the European, that have already been separating by some time. The East African Rift Valley is where the crack started at first, and it lies from the Gulf of Aden in the north and towards Zimbabwe in the south. The Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea will flood into the Afar region and into the East African Rift Valley, and that will be how the new African Ocean is created. The smaller continent created by the rift will include countries such as Somalia, Ethiopia, parts of Kenya, and Tanzania, as per USA Today. And that part of Africa will become its own separate small continent. Before we end this short documentary, I want to remind you, here on YT Documentaries we create educational short documentaries about topics ranging from history, politics, society, media, places and more. If you subscribe our channel, it will help us move forward. Thanks.